coming into business, it's not just about what can I take from people, how can I give. I want to treat the person that we're interviewing or creating content with like a family member. How can I get the most out of your story? How can I bring out the most of your story, what your business is, and the value you provide other people?
Most importantly there, the thing that you brought out is that you're interested in knowing how can you add value. Yeah, that's so important, that you go to business thinking, how can I add value? Not what can I get from you. The person who's sitting next to you, what they're thinking is, what is in this for me? That's just a human thing. Everybody thinks, what is in this for me? So the more you want to add value, the more then it's relatable and the more people are going to want to do business.
Look, we just started having a coaching session actually off camera, but I said, let's turn the camera on and just, there's so much value you've been able to provide. Sorry guys, I have Auntie Stacey on the show. I didn't introduce to the guest. You guys are used to her. We have an episode that is ready to come out. That was an amazing episode. And we're just here for more. So how are you?
Good, and lovely to be here. What an amazing space and part of the world that we live in.
It's an amazing view here, guys. We can see the Harbour Bridge, the beautiful water, the beautiful view, and like you said before, what we take for granted sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm here, guys, with our wonderful author, leadership strategist, and you've been able to provide a valuable coaching session for me. So let's just kick it off what we were talking about. I was telling you about this business that I'm doing, within the content creation industry, podcasting, and let's go off.
Yeah. So we were just talking about really being very clear on the small units of your business, that it's the only way you can then grow when you understand. For example, for you, because you're doing podcasting, once you do that shoot, how much does that shoot cost you and how much money are you making off it? So don't take the grand number, because that grand number could look really beautiful, but then off that grand number, minus your business cost, and not as a whole. It's really good to look at your business as a whole, but you really need to dissect your business to the really small units, and then it makes sense, and it's the only way to grow. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. So like you're saying, for example, from the minimum, right, we provide the clips for a company for their marketing, 5 clips, $500. But like you said, so now getting there, how much does it cost you to get to the interview, the time it takes. So take all the expenses, and so then that's the number. Okay.
Yeah. So then when you're saying, I want to make, for example, 5,000 a week, how many of that do you have to then do for you to get to the 5,000? Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah.
And then it's like you said, then, okay, then now can you upsell? And then I think with the upsell is, once you provide that value and that service straight away and people see how good you are, it's okay, then how can you, Yeah,
anything we do, and particularly because you're in a service sector, people have to have something tangible to feel. And yes, you're giving them the podcast and the clips and all that, but it's the value that you bring in.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought of starting a podcast? I know it's a scary thought at times. Where do I start? What equipment do I use? How do I produce a whole show? Maybe you're someone out there who loves yourself and loves the message in who you are and how you're spreading your unique gifts out to the world. But you just need a platform to do it on. You need a platform for people to be able to go and hear your unique and valuable story and how you're impacting people's lives. Well, here at the Rubasha Family Podcast, we're really proud to be able to use podcasting to change the world. We have been doing this and it has changed our life. For us to be able to market and be able to tell our stories of people around us and the way it's impacting and adding value to people's lives. You are that person. You have that gift. You have that talent, and that gift and talent needs to be seen. It needs to be heard. Your downfalls, your amazing moments, your business needs to reach more people. That is what we do here at the Rubasha Family Podcast. So for a select few, we can have you as a guest on our show. For me as the host to ask you questions about what you do. This is a skill, creating this content, being able to film, produce it. It is a valuable skill that we have learned, and we want to utilize that to help as many people as possible. So you'd have me as your host, ask you questions, get to know you and your business and how to build up your personal brand. We're then able to market and repurpose content from the podcast on all platforms, including your network. So if you really want to be in touch, if you want to be a guest on our show and be able to use marketing material from this valuable podcast, from your valuable story out to more people, we have that available. If you need help and assistance in publishing and producing your own podcast and just don't know how to go about it, how to do it, and you need that assistance, we provide that service as well. Being able to fully produce, edit, and publish your podcast on all networks. And maybe you just need a consultation call, some help in order to, how can you go about this strategy? Strategic ways into thinking on how you can use your podcast as a funnel for your business. You could use the podcast as a funnel for your personal brand, for people to know the face, for people to know your amazing story. If just one person can be impacted from your story, that is what matters. This is something that 100, 200 years from now, your legacy will be remembered by. So the link in the bio, there is a form for you to fill out. Go out there, fill out the form, and we'll get you started on how we can help your personal brand today.
It's the experience that matters for the customer. That's how you're going to have repeat business. That experience. So you think about it, and this morning we are here in a beautiful spot. That experience for a guest, amazing. Yeah. So think about your business and how you can create that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing I haven't asked you is, obviously you're in this content creation, podcasting, and what is it that you're doing different from everybody else? What's your unique selling proposition?
I like that, the unique selling proposition. I think with our unique selling position, I really believe, like I've looked at also the podcasting space in Australia. Not only is there very few who are doing video podcasting, a lot of here in Australia it's audio, but what our unique proposition is our omnipresence on all platforms and our consistency. So for example, like when it comes to marketing, not only are we just on one platform, we're on YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, so we're omnipresent on all platforms, and we're just able to have that consistent presence, you know. And so like when it comes to now working with someone, not only are they on our platform in front of a larger audience, but our editing and our creativity within providing clips, it has that emotional resonance with it in a family podcast.
In a family podcast. So your unique proposition, because everybody's going to say, I'm going to take you out there to all the platform, I'm going to do these things. So your thing is that family environment. So that's what you really want to bring people into, that, you know, we create that environment that is family-like. Yeah?
I like that, yeah. And it's true. And I think with like the family, it has that emotional resonance, you know, and like it's that connection. So, you know, for business people who, you know, family is involved in everything, whether it's like a real estate company or you're a business coach, like there's mothers, there's fathers, there's people who are in business who need someone like you, who need a coach, who need to be able to have someone accountable. So I think, like you said, our unique proposition is family.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, so it's always good to think, what is it, what it makes me stand out in the market? And that's what you need to tell your client, like, this is what you don't only get this, but this is also what you get when you bring us to the journey. So for the sake of the people who are listening and are maybe wanting to do business with you, as your coach, I want to ask you, talk to us through your customer experience journey. From the moment you engage them, what would that look like for them?
Okay. So our customer experience journey, and like you said, it's a good question because it's so important, you know. And for me, actually coming into business, it's not just about like, what can I take from people, but it's like, how can I give? So when you talk about the customer experience, it's like, I want to treat the person that we're, you know, interviewing or creating content with like a family member, you know. So it's really bringing in, so coming in for an interview, it's being punctual, it's being on time, it's really being able to be like, how can I get the most out of your story? How can I bring out the most of your story what your business is and the value you provide other people. And in doing that, I really believe we can be able to have that value and have great customer service. So they're coming and seeing the professionalism, seeing the cameras there on time, having an amazing interview, and having that relationship as a friend, as, you know, how can I get the most out of your story? And then after that is being able to be, have that communication now, like, hey, we've got your clips, this is what it is, and being able to provide them with more than actually what they've even paid for, you know, and really having that, you know, for them to be able to show their family, friends, and other people.
Yeah, amazing. And that's important, because family is the value. And now you have it on camera, because I really want you to listen to that bit once we finish this, because your value proposition sits there. Your unique value proposition sits in the way you spoke about the customer experience journey. So then you can really be able to take it out there, because people need to know what is it that when I come to you that I get. And most importantly there, again, the thing that you brought out is that you're interested in knowing what is important for me.
Yeah.
How can you add value? Yeah? That's so important, that you go to business thinking, how can I add value? Not what can I get from you, how can I add value? In knowing the person who's sitting next to you, what they're thinking is, what is in this for me? That's just a human thing. Everybody thinks, what is in this for me? Yeah, so that's what you constantly have to answer for them. What is in this for them? So the more you want to add value, the more then it's relatable, and the more people are going to want to do business.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're going to love that one.